Hi guys, happy Sunday. I hope you guys are well. I just want to say that, oh my gosh, so the other day I posted a video and the title is I lied, right? And I explained in that video what I was talking about, and I explained in that video that I repeated something that someone told me, someone that I believed, and I repeated it not knowing that what they showed me and what they revealed to me was actually a lie. And because I repeated it, I had to take full accountability for that. So how am I going to say this? So I just want to say that for everybody that's been, wondering what's the next steps pertaining to my case, I can't really say in too much details what the next steps are, but I will say this. I remember in that video I told you guys that I was disobedient at one point when God told me to do something, but I also mentioned that in that video I was kind of like, I didn't even think it was that serious at the time, because after I was disobedient at that time, God did not tell me anything else about severing ties. All he said was don't pay any more money, but he didn't say anything about severing ties after that. And up until that whole incident, I didn't really hear anything about severing ties. Well, the Lord actually spoke to me for the last, he speaks to me every day, but he's been really giving me clarity and full answers as to everything that's been going on pertaining to that. And the Lord said to me the other day, he said, I'm trying not to cry. The Lord said to me the other day, he said, I am so proud of you. And that really melted my heart. And what I didn't know was the moment that I made that video and the moment that I was honest to you guys about what's going on behind the scenes, I had no idea that that was a test. I had no idea that that was my test. And what I did in that moment was I actually opened the door for there to be justice, by being honest, because I can't say too much, but what was going on behind the scenes is that a person that I trusted to help me with my case, they were actually paid off. Okay. And just to make it clear, it wasn't a whole legal team that was paid off. It was around one to two people being paid off. For sure, the main person that was helping me with my case, they were paid off. Okay, they were greedy. But I feel like there was another male involved, and I'm going to explain why I feel like there was another male involved in the other video consequences. But for sure, there was greed involved. And, after that deception happened where they were paid off to do whatever, that person became greedy and was still charging me legal fees, knowing deep down that they were not doing anything legally for me, knowing deep down the agreement that they made to deceive me. They continue milking me for legal fees, knowing they were not doing anything about it, knowing they were not investigating anymore, but just charging me for investigations after they've made that decision to deceive me. So they did accept, they were paid off. So because they were paid off based on greed, they did not think that once I found out that some of the stuff that was given to me was false, they did not think that I would publicly talk about it. They thought that I would kind of, out of embarrassment, keep it hush hush, which means that it would have worked out in their favor. But because I'm an honest person and I talked about it, they know deep down now that I'm not going to hold anything back, right? And that is actually what has opened the door for me to receive the justice that I actually deserve. The Lord actually allowed all this to play out in his favor. So even when people thought they were getting away with things and thought they were going to discredit my story, discredit the justice, and not give me the justice that my children I deserve, what they don't understand is that they made things worse for themselves. So not only did they side with the accused by doing this, but them taking justice away from me was also going to discredit and remove the justice that many people were going to receive. And the Lord actually brought me to also the book of Esther to let me know, Esther had to go into a fast, and Esther fought for her people. And this particular person that did this, they were not only trying to rob me of justice, but they were trying to rob hundreds and thousands of people that are going through exactly what I'm going through, of our justice, right? So basically what they wanted was they wanted me to put out false information. And when if any chance that I found out that it was false information, they were hoping that, I would be too ashamed to publicly speak on it, which would have allowed them to secretly get away with whatever it is they're getting away with. And not only that, but the other party, the accused, and the two people that were involved with the accused, they would have gotten away with whatever they're getting away with. But God let things work out all according to his will. And because I spoke up about it and I'm honest, that is what opened the door for there to be justice. So yes, there will be justice, and God is not going to allow people to get away with what they did, right? And because there's a lot of people who are going through this, and what that would have done is that would have actually, so had I would have put out a lie, without knowing it was a lie, but God told me, so had I would have put out a lie, what that would discredit the actual proof that we do have. That would have made everything else that I talked about seem unbelievable. But because I was honest and I told the truth about me receiving this false document, right, that was not real, what that did was open the door for there to actually be justice, okay? Because now the real evidence that I have can be brought to the forefront, right? But had I continued to speak on the false document they gave me, believing it was real, again, that would have took away from everything that was real. That would have really discredited everything that was real. That would have made everything that I've talked about all these years in my book, that would have made everything seem like a lie when it wasn't a lie. And that's what the accused wanted. The accused wanted to destroy my ministry. They wanted to destroy me. They wanted me to look like a liar in order to destroy my ministry, destroy me as a person, and that's not going to happen, right? Again, there is some proof. However, there was something going on behind the scenes, and the person that was helping me collect the evidence, there was some money involved, and they did the wrong thing, and they chose to go against me, and they chose to side with the accused. Okay, so it was actually a plot to make me look like something I'm not, and it was a plot out of greed. In other words, the Lord said this is actually a part of his plan. This is part of his plan, and the Lord already knew that this was going to happen, and this is actually a part of my story, and this is a part of my testimony, and this is what's going to create additional details in my documentary, and this is what's actually going to create a whole sequel for my book and my documentary. So this is actually played out according to God's will. Okay, so God brought me to the reference of Matthew 4 verse 4, where God was fasting, Jesus was fasting, and the devil came, and the devil tried to tempt him, and Jesus told the devil not to tempt his Father. And I'm going to read that to you right now. So Matthew 4 verse 4, it says, Jesus answered, "It is written, man shall not live off of bread alone, but on every word that comes from the mouth of God." And the Lord showed me that to let me know that although I was disobedient at a certain point in my journey with this, he let it be known that regardless, the outcome is going to be the same. And he let it be known that disobedience did not mess up anything. That disobedience was just a part of my learning experience, okay? And that's the reason why he did not tell me to sever ties with this person throughout the rest of the journey. In fact, what he told me was to make sure everything is recorded and documented, and that I have all this. And it makes sense why he told me to document the whole journey, because that obedience is what worked out in my favor. And I just want to update you guys. And yes, there's definitely a sequel, a plot twist, but everything that is happening, all it did was it gave me a sequel for my book. So I wanted to share that with you guys. I love you guys so much. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. I do have some words I have to put out for you guys today. And, this was actually a word that God gave to me. But he wants me to put it out because he said this is the season of justice, the seasons of accountability right now. And there is going to be justice for a lot of God's people. But he wants me to use my situation as an analogy because there are some of you guys who are going through something similar. It may not be the exact same thing I'm going through, but it's something definitely similar. Okay, so Again, what happened in my situation, it did not ruin the outcome of justice, because nobody is more powerful than God. And what people don't understand is when they sit there and they're being deceitful behind the scenes, God is actually allowing things to work out according to his will, and they don't even realize it. And that's why when God gave me specific instructions in the beginning, I followed and I complied to these instructions, because these instructions that he gave me in the beginning is what actually is helping the situation. Okay, I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. I'll talk to you later. Bye.